wear rollerblades. Oh yeah. I haven't seen a fruit booter forever. Fruit booter. That's great. Freaking rollerblades. You never see rollerblades anymore. Those things were the hotness when I was little. All right. What's up, everyone? So, just a quick rundown why this is late. First, I had a flat tire, which ended up being 2 nails in it. So I had to buy a new tire. And second, my adapter for my mic broke. That's the second one. Like, this one just like pulled apart. So I'm looking into getting the Sena GP 10 deal, like the Bluetooth mic for the GoPro. But that won't be for a little bit, a couple weeks or so. So hopefully this adapter holds up. So anyways, I'll go ahead and get into this. If my paper don't fly away, I'll try to remember all the questions and just annotate the names that ask the questions. The first question, though, we'll start with Mr. Double T90T's question. And he asks, if I could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? And my answer to that question, and it's been, I mean, I've wanted to go to this place for a long time. I actually looked into it when I was like 18, like how much it would cost. No, I was back from school. I was like 21. And I looked into it, how much it would cost. It was a lot cheaper then. But it would be Tokyo, Japan, or just Japan in general. I think it'd be awesome to travel around Japan and see the culture there. And the reason is I'm a big Japanese car guy. Don't get me wrong, I love American muscle too, but I started out on an 84 Honda CRX, and then just I kind of fell in love with them since then. But also the other culture, the old culture from Japan, I think is very interesting, like the samurais and the freaking all that kind of shit. But anyways, that's where I would travel. And with who? It would be with my wife, and she knows I wanted to go there for a long time. So that's who I would travel there with. So next question, that's number 1. Next question, it comes from the Florida Rider, and he asked a few questions, which would be a interesting vlog, I guess. But I mean, there's not really that much in depth to go into it, so it'll probably be the longest answered question that I have right now, because there's like, it's kind of a series of like 4 questions. The first one of his questions was, what was your military time like? And I guess, I mean, it wasn't necessarily hard. I mean, it had its hard points, hard times in there. But I mean, it was a good time. You got closer than anyone, like closer to some of the guys that you're with than anyone ever will be close to someone else, like even their blood relatives. I mean, those guys, my buddies, they have my back no matter what. Like, even some of them I didn't get along with all the time necessarily, they still have my back. So but yeah, I mean, it had its tough times. I mean, you're out in the field for, you know, a month at a time doing training before you deploy. And where I was, that also ties into with his question is where were you stationed and what was your job? And my job, I was a grunt, 0311 baby, infantry in the Marine Corps. I was stationed in 29 Palms, California. If you're in the Marine Corps, you know where 29 Palms, California is, because it's freaking hell on earth. Place sucks balls, but it's one of those places you kind of you love to hate, you hate to love. When you're there, when you get there, you're like, oh, 29 Palms, this place sounds like a paradise. And then you get there, you're like, holy shit, this place sucks really bad. My life is gonna suck for at least the next 4 years. But once you're there, I mean, San Diego's not too far, Palm Springs pretty close, LA's pretty close, Vegas is not that far away. I mean, there's stuff to do around there, but the Marines that are stationed there, we drink. That's on the weekend. You get off, you don't want to go anywhere, you just drink. That's all there is to do there. But as for the base, it is like the place to go for military training, going to like desert warfare type stuff, like the Iraq, Afghanistan type deal. That's where you went. They have a thing called CAX, or Mojave Viper, or Extended Mojave Viper. It's at least a month long. Like the regular Mojave Viper is a month long, and you stay in these little metal tents, or not tents, but like little case bands or whatever we call them. If you go there in the wintertime, it's freaking cold. There's no insulation. If you go there in the summertime, you're in that freaking hooch, just sweating your balls off the whole time. And then you go out and train. So, I mean, you're always in the field, you're sleeping in the field, but people that aren't stationed there, you know, that sucks for them to go there. Like, oh man, for us, that was our backyard, man. There's a thing called Range 400 there. Range 400 and I think Range 410 Alpha are the longest assault ranges in the Marine Corps, like training ranges. They're long, and there's, you know, wadis in the desert that you're going through, that you have to patrol through, and then you attack these bunkers, and you live fire and all this. So I mean, it's pretty intense when you're doing it. It's a good time, but it sucks. But that was our backyard. We knew that. I mean, we could run that range in our sleep. I mean, I'm sure some of us did run it in our sleep, night and day. But even when it wasn't Mojave Viper, we were out there on that range every week before we went to Iraq. We were on that range every week. That was our home. Like our barracks, that was a place to go pack up clothes before you left for the weekend, and then you go back the next Monday, get back after Libo, and freaking go right back out there and hike back. So I mean, but that's what I did. Like I said, I was a grunt, which is the only way to go. And again, like, how did I like my job or whatever? I freaking loved my job. I wanted to, if I wasn't gonna love it, I wouldn't have signed up for it. And when I signed up for the Marine Corps, that's all I knew they did was go out and kill bodies, you know. I was like, the recruiter was like, well, you want to work on, like, in the air wing or what? And I was like, there's an air wing in the Marine Corps? He's like, yeah, there's all kinds of jobs. I was like, I thought there was just, I thought the Marine Corps was the ground pounders, the you know, I thought all there was carrying a rifle around with a pack and getting into gunfights, but not true. So, but it was a blast, man. I freaking loved it. Sometimes I wish I'd go back, but I mean, I got a wife and 2 kids now, and they're way more important to me than trying to feel like a badass or something. So I definitely stay home, but I miss my brothers, that's for sure. Anyways, we'll go on to the third question, asked by Redline009. He asked, what do I like better, the 636 or my R6? Which one's a better bike? It's hard to say right now because I'm freaking running out of gas again. No. it's hard to say right now because I really haven't been able to ride this one that much. Whereas my R6, I had it for a couple years, so I mean, I knew how it handled pretty good. I knew how it felt. And also when I got this one, it was lowered, so you know, this is only my third time riding it or something like that since I raised it back up. And it, you know, it also has the throttle position sensor, or whatever, the sub-throttle sensor is bad on it, so it freaking it cuts out. Like, I don't want to do this so that car because it doesn't do it every single time, but see, like that, it cuts out. So right now the 636 was better, or the R6 was better, just because it was a little more reliable when I had it. It did do stuff like that. I do have the part coming to fix that, and hopefully I'll get to be able to do it this week. I don't know though, and hopefully the sensor fixes it. I've heard you got to replace the whole throttle bodies because they're synced to the throttle bodies, and I've also heard on the 06s you could just replace the sensor. I've heard people say, yeah, it took me 30 minutes, it runs freaking perfect now, just replacing the sensor. And I've heard people say, oh, I replaced the sensor and it still runs like crap, didn't make a difference. Oh, well, you have to replace the throttle bodies. So anyways, I figured I'd go ahead and try the sensor first, and if that don't work, go with the throttle bodies. But that's that. I mean, I'm sure, I mean, I like the way this one looks better for sure. I've always liked the way the 0304s looked, and I like the way the 0506s looked. One of the things I didn't like about the 0506s, and I think even the newer ones, is the turn signal lights. Like, I didn't like those, and this guy has the smaller turn signal lights, kind of like were on my R6. So I like that about it. For right now, the R6, but I'm sure I will fall in love with how this one rides and everything, but I really don't know much about it. So, I mean, I haven't been able to ride it and get a good feel for it yet. And the last question I have, which I'd like to say thank you for all you guys that asked the questions, is from DBev97, I guess, DBev97, I guess is how you pronounce that. I'm not 100% sure. But ask what do I do for a living, and that's a simple one. I'm a freaking auto mechanic. I turn wrenches on cars. That's what I do for a living. My number one choice for job? No, definitely not, but it definitely gets me by. And you gotta work hard, and by the time you're freaking 50 years old, your body's gonna be broken down and hurting, and I mean, it's gonna suck balls. So in the future, maybe something else. We'll see what happens in the future, but for right now, I enjoy doing it. I still hate customers. That's what I did before I joined the Marine Corps. I was an auto mechanic. I went to school for it. I went to UTI. A couple years after I got out of high school. Graduated from there, came back, I started working at the local Honda dealership for like 2 years, and then from there I went to the Ford dealership. Hated it. I hated that shop. That shop sucks balls. But yeah, anyways, so that's my questions that you all answered. Again, thank you for asking them. I didn't have too many, so I was able to get to them all. There was one on my Facebook. I forget your name, dude. Sorry, but it was a repeat question of the one I took from YouTube about the R6 and 636, which is better, which I like more, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I only got like 5 questions pretty much, and was able to get to them all in a decent amount of time. Obviously I have to edit it down a little bit, but like what I just said is unnecessary. But yeah, so I'll talk to y'all later. Stay safe out there. Have a good Memorial Day, and remember the reason for this day. It's not us veterans. We have our own holiday for that. It's the fallen warriors, fallen soldiers, fallen airmen, fallen seamen. Sorry. Fallen Navy personnel, which they provide our freaking lifesavers, the corpsmen, the unspoken heroes, the awesome, those guys are freaking awesome. They do everything we do. Just remember that while you were having your day of fun and relaxation, barbecues, beer, friends, enjoying yourself. Remember those families that don't have their loved ones anymore to celebrate this day with. But I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Deuces.